Ah, yes, these statues are there to remind us of the atrocities argument. That's a good one. Let me start off by saying I actually agree with that statement that memorials and monuments are there to help us remember the atrocities that were committed. But something tells me that's not the way you view them. You see, in Oklahoma City, at the site of the Murrah Federal Building, there stands a memorial for all the victims who lost their lives in that attack. The victims who lost their lives in that attack. The memorial has, among many things, 168 glass and bronze chairs to symbolize the victims who lost their lives in that attack. You know what's not at that memorial? A statue of Timothy McVeigh climbing up into his Ryder truck before he carried out the attack, as a way to help us remember not to be domestic terrorists. At Ground Zero in New York City, there where the Twin Towers once stood, is a huge memorial, and in the footprints of the towers are these large marble slabs with the names of all the victims etched into it. And every year on the victim's would-be birthday, they place a rose by the victim's name in honor of them. You know what's not there? A statue of Osama bin Laden in a cave somewhere planning the attack, or statues of any of the 19 hijackers charging the cockpit as a way to remind us not to be international terrorists. In Germany, at Auschwitz, the entire camp has been preserved as a way to remind us and memorialize the victims who were unalived at that facility. Buildings, gates, unaliving chambers, railroad tracks, all of it preserved in history as a way for us to remember those atrocities. You know what's not there? A statue of Adolf Hitler giving the command, or any of the camp commanders or guards carrying out those orders as a way to remind us not to commit genocide. Only here in the United States, and mainly in the southern United States, do we erect statues of the perpetrators of atrocities as a way to remind us not to be perpetrators. Why is that? I mean, I know why. Everyone else here knows why. But yet, you refuse to admit why. Instead, you try to gaslight an entire demographic of our population into believing that, no, these are for you as a way to remind us not to do this to you ever again. Yeah, we're not buying it. We know exactly what these monuments are for. They're a way for you to fantasize what you wish history would have been. We're not the ones trying to rewrite history. We're trying to tell history the way it actually was. If you really want to prevent atrocities from happening again, put up monuments in honor of the victims, not the perpetrators.